Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Wednesday here on the Pagan Perspective. I'm your host, Eric, and this week we are talking about coming out of the broom closet. So this week we're talking about coming out as a pagan to family, friends, people like that. The original topic was, and sorry, I gotta use my glasses for this. How did you come out of the broom closet? Did you have a coming out? I know this has been discussed before, but specifically for family members and Abrahamic religious friends, is it possible to balance your personal path and the relationships you have developed with those who disagree with it? This comes from I'll Wake Up Alone, and really, when it comes down to my family members and my Abrahamic friends, most of my Abrahamic friends don't have a problem with it. I grew up and live in Salt Lake City, Utah, and there are a lot of Mormons here. One of the reasons that it's so fantastic to live in Salt Lake, even though a lot of people feel that they're very repressed in Utah because of the way that the moral code of the Mormon Church kind of affects the legislature in my state. They feel a little bit repressed, which I can understand that. I do feel it too on occasion. However, religiously, this is one of the most open places to be in the world. I'll explain that really quick before I get on to answering the actual question. The United States, one of, not the only reason that the United States was founded by the Pilgrims, was so that they could leave the religious oppression of the English Church of England, and the king came out to America so that they could practice their religion freely. Then, you fast forward to, I think it was the 18 or 1900s, I don't remember the history at this point specifically, but the founder of the Mormon Church, Joseph Smith, founded his church and then moved out west and continued looking for a place because of the religious persecution that he was experiencing. They kept kicking him out of places for his beliefs. Finally settled in Utah and sprang up in he didn't make it that far, but his followers and subsequent prophets made it out here, settled Salt Lake, made it this big booming metropolis, and one of the things that Salt Lake is founded on and Utah is founded on is the ability to practice your religion however you see fit without being oppressed by the people around you and the government of the locale. So it's one of those things that when I talk to most of my Mormon friends, if they start getting uppity and I just explain that to them and they go, oh yeah, I suppose you're right. I guess it's kind of a dumb idea to get all upset about you wanting to practice your beliefs the way that you want to when that's why most of the Mormons live in Salt Lake. Okay, I get it. So, as an answer to the last part of the question, if my Abrahamic or Mormon or other Abrahamic monotheistic friends don't like it or they have a problem with it, if I explain it that way, they usually go, oh, I understand. Okay, yeah, I get it. I guess I was being a little narrow-minded about it. And it's not like your path affects me. When it came to my family, however, no, I have not had any sort of coming out party or I didn't make it a big event. As a matter of fact, my parents only suspect that I'm pagan other than the relatively blatant comments that I have made to them in things like, well, where this holiday comes from. It comes from our old holiday of this, that is now this, and just stuff like that. I don't deny, my parents have never asked me because it's not one of those things that's terribly important. They want me to go back to the Mormon Church. I don't want to do that. They know that I'm no longer a member. They know that I do what I want. So I guess, in a matter of speaking, I have come out to them, because we have had discussions as to why I don't go to church, but they've never asked me what I'm doing instead. As for my brothers and sisters, they've asked, and they've wanted to know more, and we've had, long, drawn-out, sometimes tedious conversations about what I believe and what I intend to do, and sometimes I'll sum it up for them, and they've asked me several times, some of them, and some of them just ignore it altogether. If they're, I know that a couple of my sisters have a bit of a, not really a problem with it, but they're still waiting for me to come back, and I don't think that's gonna happen, but they're still waiting. At any rate, it's one of those things where we've just decided that it's not the most important thing in our lives. If you focus on the family relationship as opposed to the barriers or differences, it's much easier to live with yourself and your family that way. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is focus on the similarities and focus on those familial ties, as opposed to being so completely drawn to just something as and I may get terrible comments on this, but something as simple as a difference of opinion in religion. At any rate, this is really all I have on this subject. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I do appreciate your guys' comments. It always makes me feel good that I know that some of you actually are watching and kind of paying attention. If you guys haven't been or aren't subscribed to my other collaboration channel, All Things Futhark, it's specifically a rune specific eccentric kind of channel, and we've got a lot of good stuff and a lot of good hosts. Right now we are covering the Elder Futhark in as many aspects as we can figure. We can always use more subscribers and more commenters and people who want to see stuff like that. It's a fantastic resource, and I'll put a link in the description bar below. If you guys have any questions over there, feel free to post on the channel page. We get to them as often as we can. Thanks everybody for watching, of course, and until next time, Odin be with you.